Good.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Amy. And if you don't know me, I own Briabay and I make little girls' clothing. And today I'm talking to Hannah, who I met through a mutual friend who is a friend now, but I met her through Chick-fil-A. So we're going to kind of get into how me and Hannah met and what she does. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, guys. I'm Hannah. I own Violet Snow Custom Fabric. So I'm a surface designer. I make different fabrics. And yeah, as Amy mentioned, we met through a mutual friend, and she met through Chick-fil-A, and I met on my page. So lots of fun.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of funny how we met because me and Bria were just at Chick-fil-A one day and we saw this lady walk in. We were just sitting at our table eating, having a lunch date, and we had this lady come in with her granddaughter. And her granddaughter came in with little LOL dolls. So, of course, Bria's been really into those. And so her and her daughter or her granddaughter connected right away, and Bria ended up eating lunch at their table the whole time we were there. And so then me and Judy, who's the grandmother, started chatting while they played, and she told me all about you and how you started your own business and you sell fabrics. And so then of course, I had to check you out once I got home, and you know, reached out to you to see if we could somehow collab together. And to find out that you were local too was huge. Was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and the funny thing about Judy too is she doesn't really sew. So she joined my group and she joined my creative team, and she's been so awesome. But it's just funny because she's not someone that owns like a business or makes clothes or anything. She's like just this natural born artist,
Yeah.
and she just loves art in any form. So it's pretty cool how we met through someone who doesn't sew and isn't part of like the sewing community really.
Yeah, she's very though involved with the community,
Oh
and with the Idea Museum that's here. So
yeah.
that's pretty cool. So when I first met, well, when we first started talking, we had set up a meeting because you were going to show me your fabrics, and so after once that day came, I stood you up, completely forgot about our meeting. Me and my husband had been remodeling the house. We were painting. And then I see my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 9:30. I just stood her up. I started freaking out. My heart was pounding. And so our first meeting, I stood Hannah up. Did not leave a good impression. It felt so terrible. But you forgive me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, you are honest. And I think that that speaks volumes because you said you didn't even try to make excuses. You were like, listen, I'm remodeling. I didn't have my phone on me. I totally missed the time. I still want to meet. And to me, that speaks volumes because life happens. We both have kids. We both have busy lives. I don't always have my phone glued to my side either. So sometimes things happen. So just the fact that you were honest, like, listen, I still want to meet, just meant the world to me because you could have lied and been like, oh, I'm stuck in traffic or Bria got sick, but you didn't. You were just honest. And I think honesty is the most important quality. So the fact that you were just upfront and you were apologetic for being late,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, totally fine. I get it. Stuff happens. So I think
Thank you.
that
And
that's
that
what's
speaks
important.
volumes of you too. I mean,
Yeah.
the person you are too, to do that. So then we ended up, we rescheduled, set up a new date. We met, you showed me your fabrics. I feel like we kind of connected really well and had a lot in common. Um, and just like you kind of told me your story. So tell me a little bit about your story and how you got started with Violet Snow Fabric and how you came up with the name.
Yeah. So I actually have a good friend who also sews, and our daughters do competitive dance together. And I wanted my kid to have like the dance Leos and all these like super cute things. And I had sewn when I was younger and figured, you know what? I don't want to pay really expensive, like $100 for these dance outfits. Like I can make them myself. So I started getting into sewing again, and got me into the custom fabric world because I'm sure you've been to Joann's and Hobby Lobby. Like there's a selection, but none of it's like very unique. And I don't want my kid to wear the same stuff that everyone else's
And
kid wears.
everybody has access to Joann's too.
And everyone has access to Joann's. And Joann's is actually pretty expensive unless you get them on their sale days. Some of their fabrics are really pricey and not very good quality. So I didn't want that. And so I started researching custom fabrics and buying from different fabric designers. And I noticed that I didn't get very good customer service. There was a company that I would put an order in and then 3 weeks later get a shipping confirmation. But some of my items would be canceled. I would reach out saying, hey, what's going on here? And I wouldn't get a response, or I would get a response and say, hey, too late, your order's already shipped. And it just diminished me because I come from a customer service background, and I think customer service is very important, as I'm sure you do too. And having that experience, I was like, you know what? I can do this. Like, I rock customer service. I love art. I'm an artist myself. I'm going to start looking into this myself. And I did a lot of research and figured, you know what? I'm going to start my own company because I can do good customer service. I love art. I love designs. I have a daughter who literally is my muse. So that's kind of how it started for my custom fabric. But the name, so Violet is my daughter's middle name. She's Sophie Violet. And then Snow comes from my nickname. So growing up, my grandmother always called me Snow White because I have the really light skin and like the dark hair and the light eyes. So Snow White's always been my nickname. So I wanted to do something that incorporated part of me and part of her. So that's how we came up with the name Violet Snow.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Yeah. And just, customer service is huge with me as well. So I like how your story started, and I love how you work with other artists as well, and you get your pieces licensed, and that you do everything right. Like you do the right steps, and I love how you've started your business and how much you've grown since January. So January?
Yeah, December. I actually launched on Christmas Eve, which is pretty crazy. Crazy day to launch a business, but I was eager, excited. So I was like, let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, there's no really like right time. So yeah, good for you. I'm glad you started it. So when we met, you showed me your LOL fabric, which I knew, Brie is my inspiration. So I knew it was something she would like. And here, I'll show you guys. I did already release these, but we still have some left. And when you showed me this, I just like fell in love with it. The quality is so, so good. Like the weight of the material, the softness, the stretch. It's just so cute. I love it. So how did you go about like designing these and picking the fabric?
Yeah, so my manufacturer took me a long time. It took me several months to find a good manufacturer because there's so many out there. And I wanted something that washed really well. I hate it when I buy something for Sophie and I wash it once and it's already like faded and it looks terrible. So I wanted something that washed really well, something that was chlorine resistant. My kids swim a lot, and I know that my daughter will go and play in the pool regardless of what she's wearing. Yeah. And I wanted to make sure that it washed well, it was chlorine resistant, it dried well. And as many times as I tell my husband, don't put these things in the dryer, he still does.
Yes, mine too. I'm like, just stay away from Bria's clothes.
I say the same thing. Just wash your own stuff. Don't wash mine. Don't wash her stuff. I'll do it. But he still does. And so when it holds up so well,
you're trying to help, so you got to give him that.
Yeah, I know. How do you get mad at your husband for doing laundry?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was really important to me to find a good fabric manufacturer, not just in the quality of the fabric, but also the colors. As you can tell in any of my fabrics, my blacks are black, my brights are bright, and that's so important as well. Yeah, so you can see it all right there.
And they don't fade.
And they don't fade, yeah. So they wash up really well. All the fabrics come pre-shrunk, so that's a big plus for you, especially when you're making clothes, because I'm sure you know when you buy fabric and you wash it and you lose 2 or 3 inches, that's a lot of fabric to lose.
Yes.
So it's important.
Especially for kids too, because they grow so fast. So you want these pieces to last as long as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want them to be silky because my daughter has really sensitive skin. So I don't want her to wear something that's itchy. Sometimes I buy stuff even from like big brand name stores and it'll bother her. So she can't wear them. So I wanted to make sure it had a silky soft feel, good color, good quality. It took me a while to find a manufacturer, but I found one, a great one, and that's where all my fabrics are made.
Yeah.
So that's how I did it. But designing the LOL line, I commissioned an artist to make my dolls. I didn't want just generic dolls. I wanted something that was hand drawn. So all of my stuff that I get is hand drawn and usually scanned in. Either I'm drawing it or I commission other artists to do it as well.
Yeah.
And the background of that doll, that cloud background, is from this other artist who designs a lot of my stuff. And I just kind of combine the two. I do that a lot of times. I'll buy art from one person and I'll buy art from another, and then I'll just mash them because I have fun doing that.
Person. Yeah, you got to have your own stuff, your own creativity, and make it your own.
Exactly. Yep.
And it's pre-shrunk, right? The fabric's pre-shrunk.
Yep, all the fabric is pre-shrunk. So when you get it, when you're sewing it up, Amy, you don't have to take the time where you have to wash it all, dry it all, press it, and then start. You can just go right away. And when you wash it, you know it's going to fit.
Yeah, I love that. And then, so we got to get a few more pieces from you. So I don't know what you call it, but we decided, which we are releasing this tonight along with your teacups. And this kind of reminds me of like Alice in Wonderland, but also Easter and just really springy. The teacups and macaroons having a little tea party. And then this is just very fairy tale like to me with you have the unicorn and bunnies and deers, and it's so cute. And the coral color too is amazing.
Yeah. Coral is really big this year. It's a big comeback. And the artist who created the fairy tale one line with those woodland animals, that's part of her like springtime artwork that she released. And I loved it. So I was like, I have to have this. And then the tea party one, same thing. That was from another artist. And she did this whole big collection of like tea inspired line. And I do a lot of tea parties with my daughter. Well, I used to. She's too cool now, but when she was younger, it was a big thing. And so it just reminded me of her and what she likes to experience. And as you mentioned, Alice in Wonderland, instantly it came to mind, especially with the design that you picked, because it has the little teapots too.
Yeah. Yep. The little teapots. I mean, it's so good for summer and spring. And just any little girl, they love to dress up and, look, they all like to look cute and pretty. So I just love your design choices, and you're going to get me into a lot of trouble buying your fabric. Not really, but I just love them.
And the nice thing is the detailing. If you look really close, there's the glitters, there's the metallic. So it really you can see it. So it's the little details that I think go a very long way when it comes, especially to children's clothing. You want it to be whimsical and fun, something that other people see and they do a double take, not something they see and they're like, oh, that's just generic. It's like the little things that count. Yeah.
So to us, your fabric is just very special. So we are going to be keeping them limited because I feel like, you want to kind of, show people what you got, but you also want them to be more like one-of-a-kind pieces. So we love your stuff. And I'm so happy we were able to meet and connect. And, I wish you the best of luck with your company, and I can't wait to work with you more. And you do have swim coming soon, which I'm sure you'll be doing sneak peeks of, and I'll be doing them, which I'm excited to do. But if you guys can follow Hannah. She's on Instagram, Violet Snow. Is it just Violet Snow Custom Fabric?
So it's Violet Snow _ Custom Fabric
on Instagram, and then you have your own Facebook VIP page. So, and it's just Violet Snow Custom Fabric VIP.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so join her. You guys get to see all her new stuff coming. We at Briabay are releasing these two tonight. So if you guys have stuck with us, the through our little talk here, we're giving away, or not giving away, we're selling 15 each of these tops. So they're going to be limited. Once they're gone, they're gone. And if you stuck with us, you guys can save 15% and use code FTP15. And those codes are limited. And we're going to be releasing these tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thanks again, Hannah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to hit you up for some of those for Sophie too.
Yes, you know it. All right, bye.
Bye.